Clark should have been the unanimous Rookie of the Year. I want to know who voted. That's number one. That's a different story. But I want to know the criteria. Well, Forbes gives us the criteria when deciding this prestigious list.
I think she got to win her one to really kind of have her name in that. But, I mean, she's always going to be a great player for Iowa and for the game as a whole. But, yeah, winning one is pretty huge in college. So when she gets her one, if she gets her one, then y'all can have the conversation.
Caitlin Clark's recognition by Forbes as the #1 athlete on the 2025 Most Powerful Women in Sports list sent a shockwave through the sports world. She ranked 4th overall and became the highest athlete on the entire list. And immediately, the internet lit up with claims that A'ja Wilson is jealous, bitter, and even quietly vindictive toward her rise. Today, we are taking that claim head on, examining the lines between truth, facts, and rumors. We will also compare both athletes' endorsement values, cultural influence, media weight, and all-round impact in the WNBA in 2025. Welcome, and stay till the end, because what we're about to uncover might flip everything you knew about this.
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark flexing her muscles when it comes to being one of the most powerful women in all of sports. And I think this is an interesting list that Forbes put out. There are 2 WNBA players on here. By the way, for all the Unrivaled's not a conflict of interest, folks.
It's a real conflict of interest, because when Forbes released its 2025 Most Powerful Women in Sports list, Clark's placement at number 4 overall came with a clear explanation. Yet there's much more explanation left on the table. Forbes pointed to her estimated $8.1 million in earnings, her Nike signature deal, her national campaigns with Gatorade, her Wilson partnership, and her unmatched digital reach. Their methodology measured cultural momentum, financial influence, commercial demand, and the ability to move audiences. Clark scored high across every category.
The Forbes Most Powerful Women in Sports list in America. Why? What was the leading reason? Founders of Unrivaled. Okay, once again, we want to hear how there's no conflict of interest there. Okay, and to give you an idea, I tell you what makes this list pretty impressive and where Caitlin Clark ends up on it. You just take this lady right here.
Forbes emphasized her ability to expand the league's overall market rather than simply her individual value. Her games dominate national ratings, her clips drive daily social conversation, and her presence changes ticket pricing, scheduling, and even sponsorship priorities across teams. That is why they called her the #1 athlete on the list.
Caitlin Clark. That's who you want?
I have to put her 1.
She hasn't played a minute.
I know she hasn't.
She hasn't played a minute.
I know she hasn't, but these teams have never sold out their season tickets ever in the history of the WNBA. We have never had 2 million people watch the WNBA draft in the history of the WNBA. They're watching it for her. And it's totally fair to not put her 1, but that's my reasoning.
The league's economic blueprint is being remapped in real time. Teams now plan around her draw. Brands chase the audiences she commands. And even players outside her team benefit from the market she expands. Before we dive deeper, hit the like button if you think Clark is changing the entire league's business model. You see, Clark's Nike deal, 8 years and nearly $28 million, is a perfect example of a brand betting on scarcity, cross-demographic pull, and narrative momentum. Nike was not just signing a player. They were signing the story that brings mothers, daughters, longtime basketball fans, and brand new viewers into the same room. That is what marketers call a convergence audience, and it is incredibly rare.
You just take this lady right here. You may be like, well, Rhodes, who is this? This is Gail Benson. She is the owner of the New Orleans Saints and the New Orleans Pelicans in the National Football League and in the NBA. The two teams now carry a combined valuation of $8.35 billion. That's billion with a B, by the way. While Benson herself has an estimated net worth of $7.9 billion.
Clark's engagement rate has consistently outperformed established veterans. Her posts convert. Her appearances sell out arenas overnight. Viewership spikes the moment her name is involved. Even national broadcasts that would normally sit in modest ranges suddenly double or triple when she takes the floor.
Caitlin Clark, I'm sure you saw, just became the all-time scoring leader in women's college basketball. I'm curious, where would you rank her amongst all-time college players, in your opinion?
Ooh, that's tough because you got to win one. I feel like that college is one of those spaces where you got to win one for them to even have your name in the conversation. And it took me 3 years to win mine, so it's hard. But congratulations to her. I know my teammate KP was just like, yeah, that's huge. That's a lot of points, and that don't take that for granted. They were getting them up 100%. So congratulations to her. But I think she got to win her one to really kind of have her name in that. But I mean, she's always going to be a great player for Iowa and for the game as a whole. But yeah, winning one is pretty huge in college. So when she gets her one, if she gets her one, then y'all can have the conversation.
Veterans, like Aja before her, never reached this commercial ceiling because the economy around the league was smaller. Brands bought presence, not cultural waves. Clark represents the first true mainstream wave, and markets reward whoever controls the narrative that moves the most people at once. It is not a judgment on talent. It is a reflection of economic timing, and timing, in sports business, can be worth more than 10 seasons of resume building.
I feel like you, of all people, are the best person to ask this. She's going to be coming into the WNBA very soon. How well do you think her game is going to translate, and what would be your biggest piece of advice for her coming into the WNBA?
Yeah, I kind of said this on Complex one time. It was just a huge thing of, I think she's going to be good. I think she's going to be someone that's going to be huge for the franchise that she gets drafted to, and I just hope that franchise builds around her so she can continue to grow. And I hope the same fans that are writing for her now continue to help her and carry her and follow her into the W, because that's where the growth happens. Anyone can talk the talk now, but it's like, all right, next step. Are you still there? Are you still a true fan? But I'm pretty sure that she's going to be good. The league's going to enjoy her. We're going to enjoy her, obviously, as competitors and teammates or whatever you may say. But no, it's going to be huge for her to make that jump. All of them. I mean, it's going to be a great time for them to transition like we all did.
Now, this is where the internet starts its own little bonfire. It is widely claimed online that Aja Wilson carries some jealousy toward Clark. Not proven, not verified, just heavily repeated across sports blogs, comment sections, and fan forums that live off speculation. The narrative grew louder every time Clark broke another record, landed another endorsement, or pulled another million viewers into a regular season game. Most of this perception comes from patterns fans believe they see. Wilson has publicly questioned how rookies are treated in the league, though she never named Clark. But the timing of those comments often aligned with Clark-heavy news cycles, which made some fans assume a connection.
May even as much as 7, 8, 9 billion. Because in the National Football League, you get a bidding war. So that's why when Caitlin Clark comes in as the fourth most powerful woman in sports, by the way, in case you're wondering, Angel Reese is not on this list. As if she should be. Coco Gauff's on here. Serena Williams is on here. But Angel's not here. But Caitlin is.
When the Forbes news dropped, some commenters insisted that Wilson's tone sharpened because she was not on the list. Others point to captions they consider passive-aggressive. And again, these are interpretations, not confirmed intentions. The internet loves stitching coincidences into conspiracies. Still, the narrative stuck because they fed a classic storyline. 2 stars, 2 eras, one spotlight that seems to follow one more than the other. Whether fair or not, perception often runs ahead of facts and drags everyone with it. What do you think? Are fans reading too much into Wilson's posts, or is there something actually there? Drop a comment below.
All-star, as first all-star players tonight.
Yeah, I feel like they handled it well, just like a lot of rookies would. This is a big moment. This is All-Star break. That means that you're doing something good at the halfway mark. I think they just played their game. They were who they were. And that's all you can ask for. But it's always good when you have rookies in here to just get a taste of the All-Star game and just have fun out there. It's a good fan experience. I'm glad the fans got to see them play on the same team. I know that's a lot when they're on their separate teams. So I think they did pretty good.
Well, you see, whenever a league enters a new economic era, emotion moves faster than information. And that is exactly what happened here. The actual statements from Wilson and Clark are far more measured than the interpretations flying across the internet.
It's noise that I don't really listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say. I have a scout, I have 11 other minds on my team and in my locker room that we got to make sure that we're on the same mindset. So I really can't give you the best answer on that because I really don't pay any attention to it. My goal is just to go out there and be the best that I can be for my teammates, both on and off the court, and we're going to go out there and be us.
Wilson has never said she dislikes Clark. Clark has never suggested Wilson resents her. Yet fan spaces have built entire storylines, from timing, tone, and assumptions that would never pass a fact check in any boardroom.
No more than 2 people from the same league in any category. A weighted formula that puts a premium on financial control and influence helped determine the final ranking. So here you have it. No guesswork. They're looking at influence, they're looking at driving wealth, they're looking at social media following and engagement. They're looking at a whole lot of stuff. And here it is. It's all there. And like they said, 5 categories of whom they call power players, from owners to athletes to stuff in between. Before we even talk about Caitlin Clark,
When you convert that to real numbers on the table, the picture changes. Wilson dominates on the court. Efficiency, scoring, defense, system value, leadership, the whole package. If this were a performance review inside a company, she would be the senior partner who hits all the KPIs that keep the operation running. Clark, meanwhile, dominates the off-court metrics. Revenue lift, endorsement growth, cross-market pool. She is the department head who happens to control the external accounts that bring in new capital. The media loves turning those two lanes into a collision, even when the players themselves maintain professional distance. Forbes made one claim and one claim only. Clark currently leads the economic conversation. Forbes never said Wilson reacted poorly. It seems that part was built brick by fans who enjoy a rivalry narrative more than a factual one.
when it comes to the WNBA's awards, Rookie of the Year, MVP, all defensive team, first team, second team, those kinds of things, I want to know the criteria. We know that sports media vote for those awards, but sometimes, as you saw in a couple videos I did this season, just a couple weeks ago or less, I look at some of the numbers and I'm trying to figure out, well, why is this person on second team and not first team when the numbers look like they look, all those things.
Now, if you look at this from Wilson's vantage point, the landscape becomes more understandable. She spent years building a brand in a league that did not yet command national viewership spikes or multi-million-dollar endorsement deals. She played through the years when players were still fighting for charter flights, equitable marketing, and basic visibility. In economic terms, she entered the market before it matured. Then along comes a rookie who arrives at the exact moment the league finally becomes scalable. Clark's deals are not a reward for past performance, so much as a reflection of present conditions. And across every sport, that creates tension. Veterans who built the foundation often watch newcomers leap ahead financially because the system changed, not because the veteran lost value.
And then we had that situation, Caitlin Clark's rookie season, where somebody anonymously, because it's allowed, voted for someone else for Rookie of the Year when everybody knows that Caitlin Clark should have been the unanimous Rookie of the Year. I want to know who voted. That's number one. That's a different story. But I want to know the criteria. Well, Forbes gives us the criteria when deciding this prestigious list.
Institutions evolve faster than the individuals inside them, and that is where friction appears. It's true Wilson has voiced frustration about the coverage imbalance in the league, about how storylines cluster around a single rookie instead of the wider talent base. She did not name Clark. She did not accuse Clark, but social media has a habit of targeting whichever star is standing closest to the spotlight. A handful of fans even argue that Wilson's short congratulatory post after one of Clark's awards felt colder than usual. Though again, when you strip the emotion away, it is not a feud. It is a veteran reacting to an economic shift that arrived later than it should have. Well, the plain truth is this: Clark brings in an audience the league has never seen. Ratings jump the moment she steps on the court. Ticket demand spikes. Teams rewrite their entire media strategies around her schedule. Corporate America, who's always looking for a clean pipeline into middle America, sees Clark as the most reliable bridge the league has ever had. And when a rookie becomes the new center of gravity, gravity, veterans naturally feel the economic temperature change. Feeling threatened is not the same thing as feeling jealous, but you know how the internet works. A new IPO always makes the established blue chips nervous, even when fundamentals are strong. You see, rivalries keep the wheels of engagement turning. Fans argue, clips circulate, algorithms reward tension, and the Clark-Wilson conversation falls right into that classic pattern. The current tension between Clark and Wilson mirrors those old Serena and Sharapova narratives, stories the media kept alive, even when the actual dynamic between the players was calm. One side posts that Clark changed the league. Another fires back that Wilson carried the league long before Clark arrived. That back and forth generates heat that the platforms love. If you are watching this right now, drop a quick comment saying who you believe shaped the modern WNBA first. No arguments, just your vote. Here is the sober verdict. If you judge strictly on confirmed facts, there is no clear evidence of jealousy. Some of what people cite is circumstantial. Some of the reactions circulating online were misinterpreted or stripped of context. Some of the frustration expressed by Wilson comes from a structural imbalance in how the league is promoted, not from personal resentment toward a single rookie. The core insight is simple. Clark did not stumble into the #1 spot. Her impact is quantifiable, visible, and reshaping the league's business model in real time. Wilson remains one of the greatest players the sport has ever produced, but she is burdened by fan narratives that often distort her intentions. The truth sits between economic change and emotional interpretation. If you find the Clark-Wilson era fascinating, kindly hit like, subscribe for more calm breakdowns just like this, and share this video if you believe women's basketball deserves this level of national attention.